Hello and welcome to Grumpy Gamers. You're here with me, Pete, and along with me this week, I have Ben.
Hello.
Kirk.
Hello.
And Eddie.
Hello.
And how are we, gentlemen?
I'm good.
We're
Your
great.
Irish accent's a lot better than mine, Pete.
Yeah,
I've got to admit.
I don't think so. I've been practicing all week, but Eddie, you're just more authentic than I could ever be.
Oh, thank you.
I mean,
God,
that was flawless. That was absolutely flawless.
Yeah,
already.
I couldn't tell who was who there.
No,
It's like being back in Wexford.
Jesus Christ. So, hold on. What's happening right now?
Well,
So
I've...
we have a guest host. We have to.
Yeah, we should probably explain it for the listeners, shouldn't we?
Well, I was going to say I got a new microphone, so I probably sound a little different.
Better.
Oh, much better.
No banging.
Oh, marvelous.
I
With more
can hit
charisma.
the boom if you want. Make it sound a bit more authentic. No,
So-
I am Christopher, the host of And Prepare for Bad Language. What the fuck do you want?
Yeah, and previous guest. And
I'm
previous
previous guest.
Oh, yeah.
I think I've been
Previous
here
guest
before.
You have. It was this show that you were on. I know you featured on the many others, but
Oh no,
it
I,
was.
I drink a lot and pretend to be Pete in a lot of places.
that's hauntingly.
That's why
And
you're
is
Is that
so
an Irish
cheeky on
connection, or
Twitter.
is that just you?
That's all me.
Right. Okay. Good. But yeah, we have our guest host, so we're going to see how this goes because I'm looking forward to this. Now Pete's not here. Pete's away. He's in sunny Italy actually,
Ooh.
Yes.
having a great time. So. But he gave us advance warning, unlike Kirk usually does. Kirk usually gives us at least
He gives like an
5-10
hour.
minutes.
That's good.
Hold on.
Oh, sometimes.
That's what
Sometimes
happens.
that's a lucky.
That's what happens when you're running a side business. All right, I've got a lot. on,
Every single
all right?
time. Like, we all work, Kirk. We all work.
Do you work two jobs?
Well, I have my own business.
Oh, there you go.
It's a constant. It's a whole. I'm working all the time. Well, no, I'm not.
You
That's
just
a lie.
you know. Yeah,
It's a lifestyle
exactly.
business
Fuck
at
that
best.
noise, Ben. All right, I don't want to hear it.
I like the way you're still calling it the side business. I thought the frames had outgrown the podcast.
Oh,
Yeah, it's definitely out. He
I'm
does
talking
nothing for
about
this
my main
podcast now.
job here, Christopher, not the podcast.
I was trying to get a little dig that you're putting a lot more effort in the frames than you are the podcast at the
I
moment.
fucking
He doesn't
wonder
even
why.
consider the podcast.
I
He doesn't
wonder
even
why.
consider it anymore. He does nothing. He does nothing.
Yeah.
He's literally a freeloader now.
Oh, I think he
Hello.
still does Twitter stuff, doesn't he?
I
Did
do every
mention-
now
did I
and then.
see
No.
you do a sticker today for one of our videos? So
That's
Kirk
what
didn't even
Eddie.
do
That's
that.
what Eddie calls it. Sticker. No, I
What,
do.
a
I do
sticker?
all the thumbnails. I do all the thumbnails.
Thumbnails.
You do the sticker.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Thumbnails, that's
Yeah.
it.
Eddie, I do all the thumbnails.
Do you? Oh, I thought Kirk did them all.
He
I
does
used to.
stickers and
Fuck off ages
thumbnails.
ago. Kirk's too busy. Kirk's like, oh no, I'm framing. I've got no time for that shit.
Mate,
Yeah, so
can
he
I
had a
not
right
picture
mode.
in a
Frames to
frame
do at
and
the
he
moment.
can't
What do
do
you
the
want from me?
bloody... He can't do graphic designing, the job that he does.
Yeah, literally the thing that he made a big song and dance out of it. He had a fucking breakdown, and then I started doing it. They take like 2 minutes.
A breakdown. Oh, that's
Yeah, you did have a break. I mean, you're still in that breakdown.
painful.
Gentlemen,
Yeah.
petty squabbling aside, frames are going well. There's games to discuss.
There is.
There is.
Should we get on with the quick news?
We'd fucking better.
Right, let's be quick. Okay, first thing, Respawn. They've announced that there's a new first-person shooter in the Apex/Titanfall universe. Now, they didn't reference Titanfall, which is unusual. But yeah, in the Apex Legends universe, there's going to be a new first-person shooter. So that's something that I might look forward to, because never really got into Apex. So
No,
Okay.
after Titanfall 2, I just wanted more of that. And
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's
Kirk, you loved that,
delivered
didn't
yet.
you?
I
Yeah,
fucking
cool.
loved Titanfall 2. Yeah. We're supposed to be getting a third one. Well, it's not
There is
confirmed,
talk
but
about
there's
it.
heavy rumours.
Well, the heavy rumours have been pushed aside because they're going to do a first-person shooter instead.
Nah. Wait, that's what... Okay. Never mind.
No, because that had mechs and stuff. I assume this doesn't have mechs. Anyway, there's a new one. Next story, Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt. They have a summer update rolling out on the 14th of July. It brings loads of new features, including an 8v8 team deathmatch mode and a refreshed battle pass system. Now, I actually think this game's really fucking good. It's free to play. Available on PS5. I think only PS5, maybe PS4. I think that's right. And PC. Really, really good. when I played it. It's a battle royale, but now this 8v8 team deathmatch, that could be quite good, because if you're finding it hard to get into the battle royale of it, might be something to get your teeth into. Hey?
That's really poor because the developers even made that joke like a few weeks ago. So that's really poor.
Well,
yeah.
I just had it on the tip of my tongue, so. Right.
Okay.
Next one.
So disappointed.
Let's move on. That was horrific.
That really fell, didn't it?
I thought you'd be showing off, trying to impress me.
I thought that's get rip-roaring reception, but
no.
Okay, never mind. It's a tough crowd. Rockstar confirms an end to major Red Dead Online support. Wow, this is hard. Red Dead Online support to focus on GTA 6. So Red Dead Online is basically not getting any further.
Very good, Kirk.
Yeah. Right, okay. But is that...
Yeah.
Is that where we're...
Yeah, it is. Move on.
That's where we're at.
Move on.
Red
GTA
Dead
6
as
getting
fuck.
focused on. And the next one, RoboCop. There's a RoboCop game. RoboCop Rogue City is an FPS launching June 2023. There's also a Terminator open world game coming. So, these were games that we didn't really know that were happening. So, and the RoboCop one looked all right from what screenshots and stuff that I saw.
Yeah.
And the last bit of quick news. Oh no, it's not the last bit. There's two more. Okay, next one. Inscription is coming to PS5.
Okay.
And that was just on PC before, so I've always wanted to play that. And I don't know if Christopher, have you played Inscription?
I haven't. It's one of those titles that have been on the wish list, but I just haven't got round to it yet. I've heard nothing but great things. Yeah,
that I really was thinking about getting it on the Steam Deck, because I think that could really work well. So, but yeah, coming to PS5, no release date yet though. Next one, Monster Hunter Rise has sold over 10 million copies, the base game, and it's sold over 2 million in the DLC already. And I think that 2 million mark was after about 5 days. So it's absolutely smashing it, motoring on. And to think that a fifth of the people that have the base game have bought the DLC, that's mental. Yeah. I think that's, especially the price of the DLC is like 35 quid. But it is big time. It's a big expansion, so fair play to them. And the last bit, because we're not really going to go into depth on this one, is that Skull and Bones was finally shown off. Now, did anybody catch this presentation they did?
Yeah, I caught it.
What do you think?
I thought it looked like Black Flag. Exactly like Black Flag did. What, like 10 years ago?
Yeah. And it looked like... The thing is with the Assassin's Creed games, I mean, it's everything else with it as well. I know people like the pirate stuff, but to have that just in a game and that only... And even in Black Flag, it seems like you can... It doesn't seem like you can necessarily board the ships in this game. It might just be an animation. So there's a lot of questions over this game. But it looks okay and it looks fun, but it looks no
like
different.
Sea of Thieves with all the charm and animations and music taken out. It's a soulless, shite-looking game.
You're exactly right. It looks like Sea of Thieves without the character. And they even showed a Kraken at the end, didn't they? Mm-hmm. And that was like kind of the nod. The Sea of Thieves kind of nod. And it's just like, there is another game out there that's absolutely killing it. And it's free to play, right?
Yeah.
So
I was just going to throw in, did you see they threw out news Beyond Good and Evil 2 is getting play testing soon?
Yes, I did see. Yeah, I heard that.
I just thought Skull and Bones and this, they're just pushing everything out. Will somebody please buy Ubisoft?
I mean, Beyond Good and Evil 2, I mean, we haven't heard anything about that in fucking ages. And then supposedly this week you just hear, behind the scenes, supposedly almost ready for playtesting.
The last thing I heard about it was when they asked people to provide music for it for free. And they got tore apart in social media for that.
That's probably worthy of that. Ridiculous. Right, and that's the quick news, guys.
Okay.
That's the quick news.
That was swift.
What?
I tried
that segue then? Jesus. I think I have got nothing, actually. I thought I was going to say something then, but I've just completely lost it, so don't worry.
Give up the ghost, Kirk. Give up the ghost.
Wow.
Ghost. Let's move on to the first big story.
That's embarrassing.
He's got
I think the first story is Christopher.
I think it is.
Yes, well, the first story.
Sit in silence until he says
I wasn't sure. I thought you were going to start fighting again.
I was
your
going to rip
toes.
into Kirk, but...
Yes, well, I want to talk about Sony acquiring Haven Studios. Did we all see this, gentlemen? Don't
Well,
okay
we saw
me.
it 5 minutes ago when you told us about it.
Yeah. He's doing a Pete. He really is Pete. Yes, I do know about it because you told me about it 20 minutes ago.
And then we Googled it for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Did you hear about this in the recording, you cunt?
Yes, I did, Peter. Thank you.
I did.
Yes,
What's going on? What's going on with Haven
Why don't
Studios?
you tell us about it?
Well, Haven Studios, we don't know much about them. We knew they were working on a title exclusively for the PlayStation. What that is or what it may be, no idea, but judging by the reactions on Twitter, Sony acquired Haven. This is better than Activision and Bethesda combined. This is a big W for Sony. Go home, Xbox. That's the most of my research into it.
Right. Was that a direct quote, or is that your tweet?
No. My spelling's not that good.
Fair.
W.
I mean,
What does that mean? Wank?
You must. These.
Jesus.
Yes, spearheaded by Jade Raymond, one of the creative minds behind Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs. Thinks she was working on a Star Wars project with EA, but it got cancelled, which led her to splinter off and start her own group. Haven.
So, what do we reckon they're working on then?
Well, I think they must have done something that has really fucking impressed Sony.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
They've obviously got something really early in the works, you would assume, but they've done enough to impress Sony. Now, and it's hard to get teams of good developers. So maybe, and they are getting eaten up by everyone. So
They are.
So Sony probably just saw their chance and.
Do we reckon this is potentially going to be one of their live service games, one of the many million that they've
Yes,
said that they're
I
going to
had
do?
heard that somewhere.
Don't.
20 minutes before recording.
That may have been suggested 20 minutes before recording. Now you're pulling back the fourth wall. This isn't what we do.
The foreskin of reality. Leave it alone.
It could be because they got 25,000 live service games to be releasing. So the odds are this is going to be one of them.
Could be. I mean, I haven't played an Assassin's Creed or Watch Dogs in a long time, but they obviously speak to a certain audience. So I'm guessing whatever they've got conjuring up behind the scenes there is going to be good. I hope.
I think originally the series were very much adored. It's just they all have the same problem of being milked, and they
being
did throw
Ubisoft.
online elements.
Good old
where they
Ubisoft
weren't.
milking.
Well, they have the same thing. They have the same formula for every one of the games, and it's really disappointing. And that's what
It's
they're
just
making
different
that
skin,
Star
isn't it?
Wars.
That's all it is.
They're making that. They're
even
making that
just
Star Wars
now,
game, right?
You start a new Ubisoft game, take one look at the map, and just go, no.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's every game is kind of the same in that regard, and you're not going to get anything mind blowing because of that. The last Assassin's Creed was like Valhalla was just so much fucking going on.
But
even
you got
down
the
to
battle of the English. It was brilliant.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Of course you would say that, wouldn't you?
Of course I would. Yes, you deserve it.
Oof.
Oh, okay.
This is strong. We kind of steer away from that stuff, but that's cool.
Oh, dear.
That's cool. Yeah, okay, good. So, Haven Studios.
No strong arguments there. How about we move on to the next topic?
Nice.
Oh yeah, I will. I'll take this one. I'll
It is your turn.
You are number 2, Kirk. Fourth wall has been totally
obliterated.
Obliterated,
People
yeah.
are going to have the greatest time listening to this because they're not going to have a fucking clue what's going on in their earballs, and they're just going to be it's gonna be earballs. I said it. I'm fucking sticking with it.
Oh, good.
News piece, please.
Thank you, Pete. Right, so we now have the official release date for God of War Ragnarok, and not to be misconstrued with Ragnarok like I used to say. I'm trying my best to say it properly this time. So it's coming 9th of November 2022, and it was revealed on a PlayStation blog post last week. Now, I'm going to quote a little part from the blog because it caught my attention with what it said in there. So it said, "We're thrilled to be able to share our release date and the brand new God of War Ragnarok Father and Son CG trailer with all of the God of War fans who have been eagerly awaiting news. We hope we hope you've enjoyed a glimpse at some of the dangers Kratos and Atreus could find themselves up against as Ragnarok approaches." So, the thing that caught my eye there was the fact that there was a CG trailer put alongside this news piece when the game is about 5 months out. It makes me wonder what's going on behind the scenes, because I know that there is a lot that, Sony were quite quiet over the last couple of months about giving us any information on when this was coming out, and a lot of people thought it was going to be delayed until next year, didn't they? Now I'm wondering if they didn't have enough team to be able to go and maybe do a proper trailer with gameplay elements and stuff, because it's not actually quite finished yet, but Sony are pushing for it.
Well, it is quite strange that they dropped this. It wasn't even a state of play or an announcement. It was just a blog post. And
it's not. Yeah, it's nothing big, is it?
No, and it's the biggest title of the year.
Exactly, that's it. It's the biggest title of the year, and they're not screaming about it. And it makes me. I personally think they're not actually going to meet it. I think there's something going on.
I think they've done this, and they might do a state of play right before it gets released, or a month before or something.
Because it's not ready.
I think this is just to settle, the nerves and everything that's going on. I don't think it's about not being ready. Like, since when have you known Sony to release one of their first-party games and for it not to be ready and finished and all that kind of stuff? Like,
Horizon Forbidden West this year, it was half-baked when it released. They've cleaned it up a lot.
It wasn't half-baked.
It was half-baked. I fell through platforms. I went through walls. Aloy's hair alone. It was like a
Aloy's hair, yeah. No, I admit that had a mind of its own.
I had quests that wouldn't finish. Like, that game was patched weekly. And
I didn't think it was that bad.
I had an awful experience with it, and
well,
the crashes.
That ruins my point. Then that totally ruins my point. So that's
yeah,
why
I can see why you were trying to disagree with me. Then
that's why I have to disagree, because it's just not, I totally disagree. But I just don't think Sony would risk this game not coming out in a good state. I also don't think they've got anything to gain from showing gameplay at this point. I just don't like. They could do a CG trailer that they have. Everyone goes off their tits on it, and it's like they haven't lost anything. Nobody. I know you're bringing this up, Kirk, but it's not something that everyone's talking about. Saying,
well, everybody was talking about Starfield not having gameplay revealed earlier the year, and
that's because people are nervous about Microsoft. I think people are nervous around Xbox and Microsoft because they delay things and they say things that aren't true, or they promise a lot and they don't deliver. But
so you think Sony's got the goodwill behind them?
I think so. Okay. I think so. Like, yeah, that the Forbidden West thing, yes, but they did release a game and it did work, and it did.
But that game was already delayed. It needed more time, obviously.
Yeah, and they gave it the time when they needed it, I suppose. But
I think for me, what I forgot to mention was I do hope that they're not going to crunch their development team to. I just feel like maybe they needed to push a release date, and maybe they didn't want to. The development team didn't want to actually release it.
Newsflash: everyone crunches at the point of releasing a big game. Like,
I do get that, but when you've got a solid release date in the diary, you're then putting ultimate pressure on it.
When they didn't have a release date, God of War Ragnarok didn't have a release date for the longest time. This has come out of nowhere, so they didn't have to date it. Unless they were
they've
completely
chosen
sure.
to do this.
Yeah.
They've chosen to do this, and you're right. Like, God of War was originally supposed to come out in, was it 2021?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
is that was the original? Like, it's had a lot more time than people expected. They've dated it for now. People would have accepted 2023.
Yeah.
So they've actively gone and they've chosen this. You can only assume that they're very confident of hitting it and that it's virtually finished. And I just don't think they would ever risk fucking this game up, because this is bigger than they need this one to be good.
They do.
This is their big franchise. This is the one. So
this will be the third big IP from them this year, won't it? Is that right?
So we've
It would
had
be
Horizon,
Gran
this,
Turismo.
Gran Turismo.
GT, and then it'll be this, won't it?
But when you consider that Gran Turismo and Horizon were both delayed from last year, I mean, if they had it released on time, everybody would have had a barren year this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, Sony have really, really led the line on actually delivering some big, heavy-hitting titles. I mean, even you throw in... Was Ratchet and Clank this year?
Last year.
Is that this year? Last year, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
They had... but they've also had, like, Ghostwire. They've had exclusive, haven't they? Sifu, Ghostwire. They've had other ones.
Yeah, they have.
They've really...
Lovely
I think
Microsoft
Sony-
exclusives. Where the fuck's Eddie?
Hello.
Start shouting, please.
I just like you three arguing with each other. It's good. I normally don't argue with Ben, so it's good that someone's kind of arguing against Ben.
I say, oh,
It's not
this should be a
argument.
podcast. I love listening to this.
It's not arguing if somebody just puts another point across that disproves my point. That's just acceptance. That it's
You're having a conversation, aren't you?
That's just a conversation,
Yeah.
just learning that I'm wrong. But yeah, I think they'll. I can't imagine they. Real disappointment here for me is that they didn't announce it for the 11th of November.
Oh, I wanted that.
They did that. They did that on purpose.
Well, yeah, I can't. That's the only disappointment here for me.
The
is that
only
they
way
didn't
it
put
could have been better if it was like
That would have been so
the
good.
10th or 12th. Like one day either side of it. So it's like, ooh.
The 10th just to be. I just wanted it to be the 11th so badly.
I
So
would have
good.
You're
bust
such
my
a
hole
you're such a
laughing at that.
pony. You really are.
No.
You are.
I just like controversy. That's just a piss take and a nod, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
Starfield
I think a
gets
few
delayed
years
and
ago
we
they
go,
definitely would have done that just for the laughs.
absolutely just for the lols.
Yeah, back in 2013,
your big game.
Back in 2013, they absolutely would have done that, but times changed now. They kind of need to play nice a little bit because of the way things go, or going, should we say? But
Yeah.
Anyway.
Are you excited for this, Christopher?
Oh, very much so. Love God of War.
how many times did you play it?
2.
Oh, you played it twice.
Did you? Was it significantly worse the second time?
No, I played it through the second time. There's a lot I missed on my initial playthrough. I was able to connect a lot more dots, and I think it's hearing about the one shot over the shoulder throughout the whole game. Once you keep an eye out for that, it's a lot more impressive to see how they did it.
Yes.
Okay. See what you mean.
Yeah. When you have that in mind, that it never breaks, there's never any cut. It's like that is
And it's
impressive.
just one of those things that sounds like such a small touch, incredibly difficult to develop, I'd imagine. But from a player point of view, it's a small touch, but it is fantastic.
Yeah.
I do struggle with that. I do struggle with the game a little bit because I really did enjoy it. I really liked it the first time that I played it, and then I couldn't watch anyone play it. I couldn't play it again. It was just, it's just I watched somebody play it recently, and it's just I can't do this. Like it's boring.
But
Like,
you get that sometimes. The Mad Max reboot that came out a few years ago, I loved it when I watched that through. Would I watch it a second time? No. The adrenaline's not there. It's not the same experience. Not that I
found God of
dislike the
War-
movie, but
You're just throwing that axe a lot too much. Just it's sort of all about throwing
calling
the
it
fucking
back's
axe.
fun.
And yeah, it's got a punch to it, but it's just like and then I don't know. It was. I'll buy it day one, obviously, because that's what I do. But I don't want it.
Will we move on to the next topic, or is there anything else we'd like to throw out on God of War? Much like an axe.
Nice.
I thought so.
He gets nice for that as well.
Yeah.
What?
It's because you're shit.
You used a joke that literally the developers used like 2 weeks ago. I even read it
didn't
on
know
this
they did.
podcast.
I didn't.
Ben,
know they
learn
did.
this and learn it now. See the Irish? We always stick together.
Right.
Yeah. I said. Completely true.
Good.
I was going to do the next news story now, but I will not. Forspoken has been delayed for strategic reasons. I read this while I was away on PC Gamer. They've put Square Enix and Luminous Productions have announced that the upcoming game Forspoken has been delayed all the way into 2023. The team made the announcement on Twitter, but strangely didn't chalk it up to the game being unready. Instead, it seems to be for strategic reasons. As a result of ongoing discussions with key partners, we have made the strategic decision to move the launch date of Forspoken to January 24, 2023. All game elements are now complete and development is in the final polishing phase. Do you think this might be linked with the story that we've just been talking about?
Considered they announced it not 5 minutes after that announcement, yes, I'd say they're very closely linked, and we're hoping that this would get buried by God of War.
Yeah, I think Square Enix got the call, and they went like, "Oh right, we're thinking about putting God of War in there." And they went, "Yep, okay, yeah, we're gone, mate. Don't you worry,
Don't you worry, buddy.
We need all the time we can get, buddy.
This covered.
When do you want us? January? Yeah, buddy. We're coming in late. Late January. Yeah. 24th is still in January, so let's just remind ourselves we did hit January. This game looks crap. So,
Wow.
Just don't have a lot of faith in Square at the moment. They've put
No.
out some rotten titles this year.
Yeah.
Very harsh. I
Yeah.
think that's quite nice.
It did originally, but now every time you see it, you feel a little bit more sorry for it.
Fuck. Oh, okay. I mean, I think it could be. I like the look of it when I originally saw it, and I think it could have its own charming thing about it, but I think it is going to get overshadowed by other games that come around the same time.
I put this in the same bracket as like Redfall, so it's like that kind of off the AAA tier. Like it is AAA obviously, but like it's that second tier of games.
Yeah,
So
I get what you
Microsoft's versus, and I would much rather play Redfall. Redfall looks really good. I think this just looks like something's off with this, and they're delaying it and delaying it and delaying it. So
Hey, but there's nothing wrong with it, man.
nothing wrong
Nothing
with it.
wrong
just
with it.
polishing it.
Just needs some polishing.
Just
Get
ready.
the brass out.
There you go.
Yeah, it's just polishing up real nice.
Just put it, bro, grease, and we're done.
Absolutely, they'll just have it sat there waiting for January.
Yep.
Just needs 5 minutes. Right, yeah. So I do my story then. So there was a new Nintendo Switch announced. There's been a lot of speculation lately, and you can tell how important this is because it's the fourth story as opposed to the first story. So it's probably not going to go in the direction that we're thinking. But there was a new Nintendo Switch. A lot of speculation about new hardware because Nintendo love to release iterations of hardware in July, supposedly. I think they've done it twice or something. So therefore they love it. And secondly, Nintendo's latest statutory accounts showed a lot more raw materials and work in progress, as in stock that's being made, which implies that hardware is being developed. And they had way more than they did prior to the releases of the OLED and the Switch Lite. So people were jumping to conclusions that there was something quite big happening. Now, it could just be that they're stockpiling raw materials at cheaper prices, etc., that kind of stuff. As prices are rising quite dramatically. So people thought Switch Pro, maybe an OLED Switch Lite. But as it turns out, it's just a new Switch OLED with a Splatoon 3 theme. Which does look very nice. It does look very, very nice. There's no doubt about it. I think those Joy-Cons look fucking spectacular. But that means there's no immediate Switch Pro on the horizon, because why would they be promoting this and then also a Switch Pro or anything? And there's no word on whether these Joy-Cons will be sold separately at this point, even though they look absolutely wonderful. And Nintendo seem to do these just block color Joy-Cons, which aren't so nice, but these ones, like,
got a nice gradient on them, don't they?
Really, really nice. Do you like them, Kirk?
Yeah, I saw them on Twitter earlier, and they look
wonderful.
really, really nice and colourful. Obviously, it's a huge play on the game, but they add a nice personality to an otherwise relatively boring looking thing.
I think so. I think so. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's possible that these might be sold in Japan. I'm hoping worldwide, but they're going to be hard to get hold of anyway. I remember when the Zelda Joy-Cons came out ages ago, and I just couldn't get them for love nor money. So I'm hoping that you will be able to buy these at some point because they look fantastic, and I'm also hoping that Nintendo do more of this type of Joy-Con stuff because you've got people like me that would just drop cash on it.
Yeah.
But there is going to come a time soon where some kind of Switch revision or Switch Pro is going to be necessary because unless you want new games to be coming to the Switch and just looking like they're covered in Vaseline, they're going to have to do something, aren't they?
You love that Vaseline reference, don't you?
Well, that's what it looked like.
It does work.
Yeah. That's what Switch games look like for new games on Switch anyway.
I'd say even a Switch with an SSD because I find the loading times are starting to kill me. But again,
yeah, they are.
The PC, the PS5, and the Series X all have SSDs, so Nintendo have a bit of catching up to do.
You kind of forgive it a little bit when it's in your hands.
You clearly do.
I know.
You honestly, I've never known someone to fucking be so positive about something that is clearly aged badly.
Ooh, stay tuned for our feature, Kirk.
It's aged badly. Elaborate on that. It's the best-selling console in the world.
It's almost 6 years old as a bit of technology in a time where...
And it's smashing it.
We have moved on. Oh no, the sales, fantastic. It's got a great attach rate. But on a performance scale, no, it's really not up to...
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was trying to get at, but obviously I'm not allowed
thing is,
to shit on it.
A bit more authority, Kirk.
Studio, the first-party Nintendo games do look great. It's just that most games that are third-party are not developed for the Switch from the ground up. So therefore, they're downgraded, they're ports, they're
you're
Vaseline
getting
dripped,
over-diluted games from other platforms, or you're getting mobile games. There doesn't seem to be the happy medium that Nintendo perform on.
But this mobile technology that they've been working on has held up pretty spectacularly for 6 years. But yes, you can't, under no illusions that there needs to be some kind of iteration or
maybe you
something.
can't get voice acting in your Pokemon games because the technology just isn't there.
Fucking hell, maybe that's the reason. This is, and I know we've got a feature on our hands which is Nintendo focused.
Oh, he's bubbling over.
But the fact that they just don't do the simplest things, like you just mentioned voice acting in Pokemon. Fucking hell, it's the biggest franchise in the world. It makes the most money in the world. You can't pay fucking actors to voice. You fucking
but this
shit.
is Game Freak, and they never really evolved from their Game Boy days.
Well, yeah, you could tell that by the graphics of their games. We make the most money, but we've got the shittest looking games. Anyway, sorry, Karen. Anyway, so there's a new Switch.
Speaking of new releases.
I
mean, for a start, it's not your right to do that, Kirk. That's the presenter's
come on, we got Christopher in.
I was taking authority, as I was just told by the host himself.
Let's just rewind. Let Christopher do it. Sorry, Christopher.
I can't. That was a horrible segue.
It was awful. You know what's annoying? It was so obviously forced because he came in hot and heavy. So he'd obviously thought of that 20 minutes ago. He's written it down in his separate notes.
Eddie, I am hot and I am heavy right this moment. Okay.
Very good. Very good.
See, you could have even said, Ben, what you're trying to tell me is there's no guarantee of a new Switch Ultra Pro confirmed for Christmas. But what I can tell you is new are these releases.
Lovely.
Take it away.
What a segue that was.
That's how I should have done it.
Words are plasticine. Play with them. Form them to your will.
Talking about playing with words, let me crack on. Clanfolk, coming out on PC January 14th.
Not January.
Clanfolk is a medieval colony sim set in the Scottish Highlands. Harness your environment, survive, fish, gather, hunt and farm as you prepare for the harsh winter. Build an inn, trade, and other clans, have children and marry them off. Live life and prosper across the generations.
Jesus fucking Christ. Wow. Can you send that to Craig and Jess?
Yeah,
Christopher, okay.
I was just thinking the same thing.
For all the listeners over from the Pure Dead Gaming Camp, that one was for you.
Holy shit.
I mean, don't get wrong, granted, I went a bit Irish now and again, but I think that was probably my best one I've ever done. There was a few words in there that I thought, fuck, I've become Scottish.
Eddie, I I thought that was pretty good as well.
Do you know where I got my inspiration? Is when I take the piss out of my missus' accent. She's from near Manchester. She always goes, "You go Scottish." So I was like, and harness that. Pretend you're being a northerner, and you'll just drift up to the Scottish Highlands. Oh,
How northern can you go?
right, this game. I mean, it's RimWorld. It looks like RimWorld. It's copied a lot of. It is RimWorld.
It's fucking RimWorld. It's RimWorld.
It's RimWorld. But there's more focused on family and your clan. For example, you can have kids, and those kids get traits, and you raise them, and then they take over everything. The animations and finer details seem a little cheap to me, but that's probably because I love RimWorld. There's a free demo as well on Steam. So you can go and download that right now.
How many RimWorld clones are there now?
So many.
Like every game coming out, every week we're talking about a new RimWorld clone,
Absolutely.
aren't we?
Absolutely, and it's not just me being a massive fanboy of RimWorld. Like, if you look at RimWorld and then you look at all these games that are coming out,
No, this
side
is
by side.
this is RimWorld. This looks like a spin-off or DLC or something.
Yeah, it looks exactly like it. You know what's funny is a lot of these games are almost direct copies of very popular RimWorld mods. So, for example, RimWorld has a mod that has like children, teaching, and something all meshed into one mod that was really, really popular. I've forgotten the name of it. But that's exactly what this is. Just like there was that space one that we saw, in space a few weeks back or whatever it was. And that was a huge mod. So, I don't know if people are doing it because they love RimWorld or they've seen that how popular some RimWorld mods have gone. Let's just make a game of that, and we'll get the money.
Have you played RimWorld, Christopher?
I haven't, no. I've heard quite a bit about it from somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It feels like I've played it.
We used to do RimWorld stories, didn't we, Eddie?
Yeah, well, it's because that was the game. That's my problem. Is I will play a game non-stop for like 2 months. Don't get wrong, and then I'll go and play like 20. But it's because I was just playing RimWorld every week, so we had.
So
to
we decided
fund
to
it.
do. We decided we need to do RimWorld stories each week. That was
Well,
very good.
I
That was
had
in the early days. That was in the early days of the pod.
All right, I see. I feel like you're saying it was a mistake, but
No, I'm not.
no.
You said that.
All right, fine.
Bring it back.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm going to do it literally after this. As Dusk Falls coming out on PC, Xbox Series X. What? Series
Game
X.
Pass, day one.
That's it. I scrolled down.
It's all the Xboxes. I think
It's all the Xboxes, yeah. Yeah, Game Pass Day 1, which is lovely. July 19th, that's coming out. Explored the entangled lives of two families across 30 years in an original interactive drama from Interior Night! Starting in 1998, with a robbery gone wrong, the characters' lives deepened on the choices you make. Depend. I knew you were going to be a little prick and not even let me correct myself there, Ben. Little snake. Every family has secrets. Every secret has a price. This is a movie game. They say that your choices matter, so it's supposed to have really good replayability. To describe it to our listeners, it's kind of got like I've put picture storytelling. I'm trying to. I've definitely seen something that uses this. It's like still pictures, but then it has the audio in the background.
We saw it in a recent presentation. Was it
Microsoft's
Microsoft's presentation?
Yeah, Xbox Bethesda.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we saw that in presentation. It's that kind of one frame shot.
Yeah, it's like stop motion, but there's times where things do go in normal motion as well. So it's a bit of a weird kind of like mashup of it.
It's
I'm not
similar to Hotel Dusk, but you forgive it for that because it was on the DS. And this is on current gen hardware, and it's awful.
This is
I
this
think
is
it
the
looks
French,
awful as well.
This is the French studio that's done this, isn't it? Is that right? Yeah.
They said during the reveal that when they were writing the story, they based it on British soap operas, as if that was a boast.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to play this narrative adventure.
Yes,
Fuck.
yes,
What the
because
fuck?
because everyone who's going to buy your game is well into British soap operas.
Good old EastEnders.
But
World-renowned storytelling.
From Hollyoaks.
This game though, it looks like they really focused on story and they went, right, how do we get away with the least like
Well, I believe the story does span over quite a few decades, so I'm guessing the choices carry on to different timelines.
Yeah, I'm sure maybe it was the expansive nature of it. They wanted to.
And then
They needed to
there's-
keep it as simple as possible.
An 8-player mode?
Yeah,
I
there
don't
is.
know
Yeah,
if
I
you
don't
follow
know.
it's
the
like a voting
choices, or-
system, is it?
Yeah, I think that's how it works, which is quite interesting.
Oh yeah.
I
You
might-
pay on your phone and stuff.
I might give it a go because it's Game Pass. So, I mean, if I can find the fucking time, obviously. But it's one of those. It's piqued my interest. I wouldn't pay money for it, like directly.
Yeah.
But it's the kind of thing that I'll jump in, see if it can grab me. Because if it's meant to be story driven and your decisions do make, I'd never play it again if I did complete it. But it would be nice to see how I've played it and then compare it to somebody else and what their outcomes were, who they may have lost, that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
So can I just predict then, when you've played this and you're on the pod, what you're going to say is you're going to say, "Oh, I tried it. It didn't grab me. I know for some people that worked, but I thought it looked pretty shit and it was pretty boring, and I played an hour of it and I gave up." That's the whole review.
I don't need to play it then, do I?
You know what? Can we
you don't,
copy
Kirk, you
and
don't.
paste this so when Kirk says exactly those words, just
Whether it's fucking Dead Space or it's As Dusk Falls, it's exactly the same
get
thing.
over
hey,
it.
Tunic,
It's exactly the
Tunic. He said it's game of the year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
because
is.
he put it on the invincibility mode and then just push for the game.
Fuck you, buddy. Okay, I played over 2/3 of that game normal, and then it got too fucking hard, and I wanted to complete it, so I put it on invincibility for the bosses.
I didn't even know you did that, so I just eked that out of you.
I fucking said so when I reviewed it.
Oh, I didn't listen.
Twat. Move
Krista, have you
on.
played
Eddie.
Tunic?
Yeah, I love Tunic. I finished
Oh,
the
Thank you.
manual.
Thank you.
100%.
Did you do it on proper mode?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I'd expect.
Because that's
From
what
a man
adults
of your
do.
caliber, that's
yeah,
what I'd
Christopher.
expect.
Yes, as the legend goes, Punk does it the right way.
Go punch the
There we go.
monkeys.
There you go. Yeah, that's what you get. All right. What game are we on? We're on Endling. Extinction is Forever. Coming out on PC, PlayStations, Xboxes, Switch, July 19th. As the last mother fox on Earth, your cubs need all your care to survive in a merciless world that slowly destroys itself. You have to help them, teach them, and save them. And you should never forget that extinction is forever. Do you get it? 'Cause
Did
that's
you
in
just
the-
catch yourself saying Mother Fox there? Because there was a little hesitation there.
There was a little laugh. I thought it might have been from Kirk.
Oh, that was my side.
It was
Apologies.
Christopher.
Right.
I was having a
Because
little
I
giggle
think
to myself.
I've ever said Mother Fox, but I've said Motherfucker probably a billion times, so it
It's
just
how I
felt,
answer the phone.
it felt weird. Yeah, so this game, you're a Mother Fox. It's got nice basic drawing with a nice finish art style. I don't really know how to describe it, but if you look on like videos and stuff, you'll probably know exactly what I mean by that. It's a 3D side-scrolling game, but it's got survival elements, it's got stealth elements. It looks, and I know I use this term, it looks quite charming.
I think it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I actually might buy this.
Oh,
Yeah, love it, love it, love it.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
you said when we first saw it, didn't we, Ben? We were like, that looks
Yeah.
really fucking nice.
I was
Yeah,
trying to
loved
look
it in
like
that Nintendo
Spirit
Direct.
Fair when it was in motion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think
Wow.
I didn't like
go on.
didn't like Spiritfarer though, but hopefully I do like that. I can't see myself
How
not
do you
liking
not
this.
like a game where you hug people and cats? You hug a cat, dopamine hit, go on your day. You
absolutely.
soulless
It was
Thank
prick.
you.
It was a little boring.
Oh,
Oh, it's a little boring, was it? You went
It's a
very
little
posh
boring.
then.
Yeah, but this looks fantastic.
well,
Yeah.
there's even a free demo out at the moment on Steam.
I know I've got the demo on my PC, but I didn't want to play it because I just wanted to go straight into the game. Because I can imagine this not being very long.
Yeah,
Maybe so.
agreed.
So I didn't want like a 20-minute, half-an-hour demo to give
Yeah.
anything away.
Fair enough. All right, well, yeah, I think we're all agreed there. Forza Horizon 5 Hot Wheels DLC. We've already talked about this a few weeks ago. I don't know why it's back out, but PC, Xboxes, July 19th. I'm not going to talk about it. Ben tried to put the huge fucking blurb in, but it's got a new
Fucking
like
Ben.
Park,
Pete.
Horizon
That was
Hot
Pete.
Wheels Park.
It's-
Was it Pete? Even from Italy, he's trying to fuck me
Yeah, even
over.
from it. Yeah, that was his final.
Little
Final
sneaky
hurrah.
bastard. There's 10 amazing new cars as well. Kirk, do you have any comment on this before I very quickly move on?
I will not be buying it, but if you would like to play it, you could enter my free giveaway on my Framer Game account, because I've got a copy of the premium
do you frame
Forza Horizon
games?
5. yeah, I do, Christopher.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't have any time for anything
that's why I
else.
don't have any time for
'cause
anything.
he's
But-
Apparently
but-
now even our pod is now just a fucking advert for him. So
It is, yeah. You're damn right. But no, I'm actually giving away a free version of this game, which includes all the DLC that's due to come out and has been out. So,
So what's your Twitter handle? that
at Frame a
people
Game.
At Frame Again, so they can
Frame-
join. They
Frame
can look
Game.
at the. What is it? Is it a giveaway
It's my
there?
pinned,
To
it's my pinned tweet, and all you got to do is like it, retweet it, and follow me, and you're golden.
there you go. Hot Wheels DLC then.
Yeah, lovely.
Kurt, stop getting promotions. If you don't have time to wipe your own arse, stop doing promotions.
Thank you.
All right. Next one, big one of the week. Stray, coming out on PlayStation 5 and 4, also on PS Plus Extra Day 1. That's all on July 19th. Lost, alone, and separated from family, a stray cat must untangle an ancient mystery to escape a long-forgotten city. Stray is a third cat, adventure game set amidst the detailed neon-lit alleys of a decaying cyber city and the murky environments of its seedy underbelly. We have seen a lot about this. I'm fucking over the moon excited about this. It looks stunning, it seems fun, and I reckon, here's any hot take of the day, this could be potential Game of the Year contender.
The fuck?
Strong words, Eddie.
What the fuck?
Salute that. Salute that opinion, but probably
You're
immediately wrong.
Yeah,
But
you're wrong.
But,
Straight up wrong.
yeah, but I'll be playing it. I'll be playing it
Thank
for
you,
sure.
Ben. Thank you.
I'll be giving the old opinion. Endling and Stray this week. Some big hitters coming on the 19th.
I mean, the Hot Wheels DLC is quite a big thing for a lot of people, but
All right, Kirk,
No,
you're
it's
doing
not,
a giveaway.
Kirk.
We
Maybe
get
if
it.
you
is
got
not
it for free
epic
of some
for
dickheads
anyone.
giveaway.
yeah,
gives
such a
a
fucking
shit?
prick, Christopher.
We
Who gives
understand
a shit
there's a
about
giveaway.
Hot Wheels DLC?
Oh, it was great
well,
the first time
one-
round.
Yeah, it was. It did fucking really well on Forza Horizon 4, so...
Yeah, how did they? Why are they just? Isn't that so disappointing?
Yeah,
if you're
that's
really
tragic.
into your Forza Horizon, you fucking love it. You're all about it. You're all fucking in on Forza Horizon, and then they announce the same DLC for the next one.
Yeah.
Jesus. Man.
Money grabbers.
I mean, what you mean, like, just a nice DLC for God of War?
We're not saying that on this pod.
I just did.
That's not our hot take.
It is a hot take. And
We've gotta have a
collectively, we
universal
all believe it's exactly the same game as the 2018 version, so... Yeah.
Maybe we haven't played the game. We haven't played the game. We don't know this.
You haven't played the DLC either.
No, exactly.
There you
Exactly.
Yeah, my pick of the week, obviously, for
Stray.
everyone, Game
Yeah.
of the Year,
Yeah.
Stray.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you on Stray. Don't know about Game of the Year yet, but it looks like it could be up there.
It looks like it could be good though, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely. It's nice to
looks
see games coming to PS Plus Extra as well.
Day one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking right.
I did read, I think I've got this right. I did read that there's a trophy that you can get for meowing 100 times.
Nice.
Yes, you have to do it into the microphone on the controller.
You've got to do that, have you? Is that...
Please, if I get a video of Kirk doing that, fucking hell.
Christ.
Please stream that.
If that's
We'll put it
genuine,
as our first
that's so
TikTok.
weird. That's so
Put it
weird.
as our first TikTok. We're gonna branch out.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yes, brilliant pick of the week and potential Game of the Year. But
No, not potential Game of the Year.
apologies, Eddie. I would hate to offend you. You cunt. What have we been playing, gentlemen? I'll go to Ben first.
I've been playing the Quarry. You may or may not, probably not, have seen that I was playing this on
No, Ben,
stream.
I haven't, and it wasn't because it was you. Don't take it personally. It's just I want to play this game when it's on sale, and I didn't want to have it spoiled for me.
This is the thing about this game, that like there are like it was a big streaming game. When it comes out, these games are big for streamers, but not for small streamers, I don't think, because a lot of the people that like may have popped into ours, they want to play this for themselves, and rightly so, because this is something to experience first time by yourself, because it's your story.
Did you have the options open to your audience? Could they make choices, or was it all you?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Because I know the bigger streamers do that. No choices get made until
I think if we had. I think if you had a larger audience where you could have a bit more interactivity over it, then I think that is possible for some of the major decisions. But actually, a lot of it was just quick time events, I thought. Some but this obviously, for those that don't know, is the spiritual successor to Until Dawn. So it had big shoes to fill. And you could definitely tell it had that inspiration. I think those who have seen parts of it or seen the game definitely can tell that. But it does have some, I think, quite major differences in my mind from what I can remember from Until Dawn. Because Until Dawn was one of my favourite PS4 games. It was probably top 3, top 4 PS4 games. But for those that don't know what that is, it's basically an interactive teen horror movie where you have a cast of central characters who are all real actors in real life, but these like computer character models of those people, which is all very cool. And you have the overall goal of making them survive through the night. So as many as possible. If you have a cast of 8, you try and make all 8 survive. That kind of thing. Was
that the aim, Ben? Then why did so
I'm not
many
right.
people
Okay,
die?
no, I'm going to say that's the aim for most. Okay, that's the aim for most people. I just tell a story. That's what I'm doing. I'm
Is
just
that
telling a
story everybody dies always?
Yes, 2 survived. Right. So the
quality over quantity.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, actually, the worst people died as well. The good people died. It wasn't. It was a shit show.
Fuck's sake,
it's a fucking shit show. I'll tell you that. Right. So the path in the story is governed by basically your decisions between one or another, and also quick time events. So the interactivity in the game is quite limited. You do a bit of walking around, but it's a walking sim into quick time events / do I go left or right, or do I make this decision or this decision? And it took about 6.5 hours to complete. So that gives it a frame of reference. Then obviously if you're going to have replayability, do it in different ways, there could be a bit more to it. But just bear that in mind when we're talking about probably a £50 price tag at the moment. The character models for the graphics look fucking good. I know, Eddie, you saw a little bit of the stream, and the characters look pretty good for the most part.
Most of them do, yeah.
Some of them look terrifying. The
in
jaws
comparison to the ones that look really, really good. It's like they did the motion
yeah.
capture, and the ones that obviously paid more money got more detail. And
it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like some of them were fucking spectacular. Others were like, what the fuck's happened? So it went from fucking spectacular to those who were kind of nondescript, and then in the middle were these that looked great, but they had the most monstrous jaw lines you could ever see in your life. Like
it's the teeth as well, isn't it?
The teeth. Yeah. Like what was going on? I don't know why anybody in the QA process was like, "Do you want to just dial that back in, buddy? take that back." So that all looks good, and very much in the same vein to Until Dawn, because I thought Until Dawn years ago looked fucking top notch for that as well. Absolutely brilliant. But the story, standard kind of thing for this type of game. So in this, you are a group of like teen counselors at an American style summer camp, and then to add in that horror element, they chuck in a load of werewolves. So that's the game in a nutshell. The story is interesting, and I quite liked it. However, more than any other of these types of games made by these guys, they labour the story so fucking much. Like it's almost annoying in a way that you know what's going on, you're shown what's going on, then they want you to tell the other characters, and then they say it again and again. It just seemed like it was going over ground at all times, and it was like this story mechanic to make sure you knew what was going on. Maybe I don't know, but it just created this bit of boredom going on, I thought. And especially in there's one particular flashback scene where it seems to go on forever, and the annoying thing about this flashback is the person survives because they're literally talking about their flashback. So there's no suspense to it. I don't know, it went on way too long. But that said, the game starts very strong. Prologue, very good. Builds suspense. It's very Until Dawn-like, so that's what I use as the comparison because that was so fucking good. Then it dips for a few hours. It becomes slow. It kind of tries to build this story and do its narrative process. However, I just didn't like any of the characters. None of the characters were particularly likeable to me. Some did grow on me by the end. There was one character, Dylan, who I thought was quite cool by the end. He obviously met his untimely death.
Spoilers.
But spoilers for my playthrough. Not in the game. You could make him survive. But yeah, there were nobody that I really cared about. And
what was the who was the woman?
Yeah, I thought that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that killed the old man.
The one.
Oh no, I was thinking about the one that John
friends?
liked as well. Are you talking about that one?
No, it was the one that you and Metalli John were got to save her.
Yes, we did have one that because I like in this game these types of games to choose a person that you go, right, this is the person I'm going to make sure stays alive.
Mm-hmm.
I had to do that several times in this game as I moved around the cast as people died.
So you had to change who you wanted to save each time the previous one died.
Absolutely. But the problem was that video games have taught us to not do the obvious thing.
That's true.
It's go the other way. It's obvious that I shouldn't go and look in that hatch. No, this game's no, you fucking idiot. They're dead now. Okay. But yeah, the game was quite slow paced, I thought, compared to some of the previous ones. I didn't really like the characters. Pete was rooting for the bad guy.
Of course he was. He's a friggin'...
I know Pete is...
It's Pete.
A bad guy.
Yeah, he is...
A baddie.
He's the
Maybe
villain.
he's just a big furry fan.
Yeah, well, yes, I think maybe he's a... Yeah, furry.
Yes.
But and in many respects, Pete backed the right horse. But not very likable. Also, not as interactive as previous games like this. I thought not just Until Dawn just seemed to have more. You were doing more.
Yeah, and one thing about Until Dawn, you really couldn't complain about the pacing in the game. There was always something happening.
This is not the same. This is the thing that I think they fucked up. I think they did fuck up the pacing. I even preferred House of Ashes to this. The last one in the Man of Medan kind of season. What was that called? Dark Pictures Anthology.
Yeah.
So I was a bit disappointed, and this has got great reviews. So it's whatever take. Whether it hit the right notes for you, but maybe it's because I was streaming it. If I was playing this alone, maybe I wouldn't have been as bothered, but I was very conscious of the slow pace because we were streaming it. So the first stream I was very conscious of. So I don't know. It's not worth £50. That's what I would say.
Okay.
And that's where I think the price point is at the moment. It's not worth that in my mind. I'd wait for a sale, but at a sale, it'll be decent, but yeah, just not at the moment. And other than that, I've just been playing Monster Hunter and played a bit of F1 21 on Game Pass as well. So.
You on Monster Hunter Rise?
Yeah, so I'm Hunter rank 6. You need to be 7 to do the DLC and to get it. But yeah, I'm Hunter rank 6. I was mainly focusing on the single player, and that's you need to have leveled up the multiplayer. So I've been playing that this week to try and get it there to see whether I do want to go into the DLC or not.
I was going to say, if you need any help getting up to the higher levels, give me a shout. I haven't got the DLC, but
have you got the DLC?
I haven't got the DLC, but I've got a high level hunter
Main game. I might hit you up for some advice about it because I'm not. There's so many systems in that game, and going back to it, you're like, there's so many fucking systems, and you can. What I do like about it is though you can get away with not knowing about a lot of it.
Oh yeah, you can glide on by, but if you're doing
but
it
it'd
later
be nice
on in
to
game,
know. Yeah, it'd be nice to know towards the end. So yeah, I might hit you up for that one.
Of course. We'll move on to Eddie.
Ooh.
Have you been killing teenagers this week?
Yes, but the game I've been playing is Total War Three Kingdoms again. I don't know. It's a weird question. He caught me out. All right.
So you gave a weird answer. Okay.
It was very smooth, I'll give you that. Eddie's the man for the crisis.
Yes. And if you want teenagers killed. Yeah, I've just been playing Total War Three Kingdoms. It's not like me to bring a new game to the table. I've been away for 5 days, but I'm also loving this game. I found out that I phoned up Pete and I was like, this game's a bit too easy. I'm getting a bit bored. And he was like, oh, there is difficulty settings. They're hidden in my defence. So, yeah. So I've cranked up the difficulty. I'm loving it again. And what's different about this game than other Total War games is the end game is actually fun. Pete will disagree with me, but other Total War games, when you get to the end game, you know, when you've taken over half the map and you're just cleaning it up. This game's way better because it's all about like coalitions with other parties and stuff, and it makes diplomacy really interesting. Like in one of my playthroughs, I didn't give a fuck about diplomacy because in every other Total War, it doesn't make a difference as long as you've got a big army. But in this one, it does, because then everyone can form a coalition against you, and then you get your ass handed to you. So, yeah, I'm really, really enjoying that. I've also been jumping on with the boys playing Warzone, which is great. I'm absolutely loving it. It's so much fun to kind of level up the weapons when you know that they're the meta, so you just jump on and try and level it up. It gives you another sense of purpose. As well as the fact that it's just a great memory maker, isn't it, Ben? The amount of times we've jumped on and the adrenaline's got pumping. We're in the final circles. We've actually won quite a few as well recently.
We have won. Yeah, we've been playing it the last 2 weeks, haven't we? We got back-to-back victories one night.
Yeah, which we never did in the whole time playing at Briar, where we were playing probably every other night for over 6 months, and we never got a back-to-back win. But
yeah, so now we're back in the groove. But I found that like these last couple of weeks have been fucking great. Like Warzone is very, very good, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Very fucking good.
It's this new map as well, which helps. I think if we jumped on the old map that we always used to play in Caldera, whatever it's called.
Verdansk. The old one's Verdansk, this one's Caldera.
Oh, is it? Oh, right, okay. Yeah, well, I think maybe we would have got a bit bored because obviously we played it a billion times, but this map's great as well. I feel like they've taken aspects from other games to make it more fun. Like, for example, there's loads of trees everywhere and loads of like random huts, so it's really got rid of all the snipers, which is amazing because the old Warzone was Sniper City. Yeah,
you're right. The sniper situation is a hell of a lot better on this game, isn't it?
So much better. I mean, I rarely get sniped these days. But yeah, it's so much fun, and we're streaming it as well on Thursday. That's how confident we are.
We are. Because we've had a few good nights in a row, haven't we?
That's it.
We're like, yeah, okay.
So
we're
the
capable
Thursday night
of
is going to be the night that you just go all downhill.
Oh, it's going to be awful. It's going to be awful. No, but we that is right. We are our Thursday stream this week, 7:00 BST. We will be streaming Warzone trios on Warzone to try and get a win, try and get a W.
Yeah, me, Ben, and Jack, who was on the show once as well.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
I'll not be tuning in because I don't want the story spoiled for me.
Lots of teenagers will die if that helps.
Ooh. This is the thing.
Tempt me.
That's I've learned from the last stream. Like you gotta pick your titles, and I think this could be. Thing is, we're very biased, so I actually think it's really fun. But
the only problem
we'll
with
quickly
something
learn.
like Warzone is interaction with the audience. Your attention's fully on the game.
Yeah, this is. I was going to say that to Eddie. I can use that as my excuse.
Yeah, that's the good thing. Ben dies every minute.
Yeah.
I'm a dyer. So
he can keep an eye on the chat, entertain
He's
people.
Exactly. And when I'm watching other people, when I'm watching Eddie's screen, obviously, I can then just be commenting on the chat. So don't you worry, we're not going to be leaving the chat behind because Kid Ben's going to be in the gulag all times.
Very worried. Well, Kirk, would you like to go, or will I go before you?
I mean, I haven't. I honestly, I've just been so busy, so I've not really had any time to play anything other than a few odd games of Rocket League and Fall Guys. I don't know if you know, Eddie, but I have a business where I frame people's lives.
Do you want to hear my take on this, Go? That soon you're not going to be able to make any friends because you're not going to know what games people are playing.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
You're not going to know anything about the gaming landscape.
Do you know what the hilarious thing about that is? People can DM me with personal requests and people ask me to make
is that another
certain
advert?
games.
Is that hilarious?
So
no,
I
it's
could
hilarious 'cause
take
you think
any
that I
game in
won't
my
know what to-
collection and get it
You know-
framed, is what you're saying.
Kirky's become a masterful, almost politician for just flipping everything to framing. I respect that.
Yeah. I'm a hustler. What do you want?
Yeah, okay.
That's not great.
Anyway, I've been playing Rocket League and Fall Guys when I've had time in between making stuff. So that's me.
Thanks, Framing Game. I've been playing Omori.
Oh, what's
Good.
Omori?
Tell us about it.
Wow.
It
Was that a
recently
joke, Kirk? That was brilliant, if so.
I wouldn't mind. It's another joke that gets made in the game,
Oh, is it? Damn it,
Yeah.
Kirk. I thought you were a fucking genius. Then.
along with When the Moon Hits Your Eye.
Nice.
Yes,
That's
so-
amore.
You can sing in Scottish too.
I can't sing in Scottish.
Fuck me. Yeah, this came out December 2020. It looks like Earthbound. It's a nice little nod to it. It's an RPG maker game, so it's quite bare bones. But it came up in Game Pass recently. I was like, ooh, I fancy that. That's on my Steam wish list. There's some money they're not getting. Thanks, Microsoft.
Lovely job.
So yeah, started it. Begins very much like Earthbound. You're walking around. I think you start in a little white room. Very aesthetically pleasing, yet simple. But this colourful, happy place is the dream world, and then you wake up and you return to reality, which is fucking horrible. Very much like real life.
Yeah.
So the characters in the dream world are reflections of people in the... characters in the dream world are reflections of characters in the real world, except you're not friends in the real world. Seems like some shit has gone down. And
It's like
this-
Persona.
Similar. In Persona, everybody's aware of it, but the impression I'm getting in the dream, it's only Omori that remembers the dream world.
Right, got you.
So I'm 3 chapters in. I'm enjoying it a lot, but it has recently revealed itself to be a psychological horror RPG.
Oh.
And it actually got a jump out of me, which Resident Evil 7 wasn't able to do. So, as much
Resident
as
Evil
I've
7
played it,
wasn't able to do that.
yeah, I didn't jump at that. Just in case you think I jump at all games. It's like Mario Kart, anytime a green shell comes up and I jump out of my skin.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't like to give you that impression. I'm very brave.
No, sure. Yeah, get it.
Yeah.
So, no, I just wanted to give anybody a heads up in case they were thinking of trying it out, because, yes, Game Pass game, it's only going to cost you your time. If you do go in, it very much gives hints that it's going to deal with depression, possibly self-harm. So if those are things that you generally try to avoid in your media, and who can blame you, I'd give it a miss. Otherwise, yeah, go for it. Standard RPG, very enjoyable. Once I get more time into it, I'll give it the thumbs up or down.
It's interesting you say that. Now that I think about the logo for this game with that child kind of drawing.
Yeah,
I can
there's
kind of
a black
get
light
that.
bulb that appears a lot. There's some striking imagery in this game.
Yeah, I can kind of, even when you say that type of stuff and you kind of link it to that, you go, yeah, okay, that would-
The developers do describe. They say the game contains depictions of depression, anxiety, and suicide, and may not be suitable for audiences.
That
Viewer
sounds
discretion
intense,
is
doesn't
advised.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't catch any of this before I installed it, so it did. You get hints of it when you start the game. You know something's amiss. It's not just Earthbound, but it does plenty. There's enough little bits in the battle system, so you're not just tapping A to win. There is quite a few abilities, different things to play with.
What kind of length do you think this game's going to be?
I'm not entirely sure. In the real world, you're moving home and you've got 3 days. So if I had to guess, I'd say maybe 6 chapters.
Gotcha.
So if you're doing 3 days in the real world and then returning to the dream world in between.
Yeah.
But that's only a guess. It also has that fun thing where the in-game clock runs when it's on quick resume. So I have put about 300 hours into the
25,000
game
hours.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And only level
Yeah.
16.
Gotcha.
So apart from that, it has been Turtles, because that's fantastic.
Yeah,
Great jump-in game. And
great game.
jump back into Among Us with the Pure Dead gaming crowd, which was
I did
fun.
see that. They had a
Yeah.
community night, right?
Yeah, they did, and I couldn't recommend it enough, especially when you know everyone. Fantastic game for it.
So that's the kind of game you need to play with people that you know, isn't it? You can't just play with
Definitely.
randos.
And if you can get a voice chat on the go, because the
Yeah,
text
it seems
chat
that's the
didn't
way.
work.
Oh, did it not?
Not entirely well. Everybody hopped onto Discord.
Fair. That makes
You
sense.
want voice chat as well because you want to hear somebody's voice in that game, don't you?
It's just whenever your character dies in game, you get muted, whereas on Discord you don't. So it's up to the
understood,
person
yeah.
to step out of the game, which
Yes.
doesn't always work. So you get somebody cursing somebody that just killed them.
Oh yeah, and then
Which-
give it
yeah.
away. Yeah, right, gotcha. Yeah.
So that was all I played. Wasn't that a fun week? What have we got next? Oh, it's a little rant. Continuing on from last week.
Yes, we do have a feature. We have a feature which is
Yes.
Nintendo focused.
I was expecting more anger to begin with. Or you're just
No,
going
because
to
we're
welcome.
going to build
Work your
into
way
that.
up.
We're going to build into
Mario
that.
Strikers, you piece of shit. Nintendo,
I'm going
you
to go
fuckwits.
with a start. Right, okay, so our feature this week is a discussion about first-party Nintendo online multiplayer games. And are they dead? Were they ever alive? And can we trust Nintendo to ever make a good one? So this has kind of been... Obviously, this is brewed up very recently with Mario Strikers, but
did it?
Nintendo aren't known... This was brewed up. But they're not known for online games. I think we can all... Even the likes... Kirk, Eddie, not Nintendo fans, don't play the console, but you know that they're not known for online kind of games. They actively have chosen not to have native voice chat in a lot of their games, or easily activated on their console. And obviously, Fortnite does do it, gets around it.
Yeah.
But some games do. But that is the choice. There's no easy way to do it on the
Well,
console.
even when Nintendo include it in their own games, it's not through the game. You have to do it through an app on your phone.
Absolutely, and that app is basically dead. So there's this
Yeah.
Nintendo Online app, which they went, okay, well, what we're going to do, they tried to create their own little like Discord type thing, I think, and then they just abandoned it. So they had Splatoon on there. I think they had like one other game.
Animal Crossing.
I don't even think they put arms on it. Like it's
No,
like they
not
just had
arms.
this app, and they just went, fuck it, and they've just not done any. And now they just like hope that nobody talks about it. So there's just no way to talk to people really. And we've had all these sports games that have come out recently, and they've all been pretty gash, and we'll go into. But I think they are ruining their credibility on this online game still. And they've got a huge IP. They've got Splatoon 3 coming out soon. Mm-hmm. And I did, in preparation for this, I did look at a poll that was done on Spawnwave's YouTube channel and said, are people going to buy Splatoon 3 on day one? 16% said yes, 22% said probably wait for a sale, 62% said not interested. Now, if that's of, I don't know, I assume a large proportion of those people have a Switch. Now, this is a big game for that platform. This is a big game for multiplayer games as well for Nintendo to
I'm going to
get
say
right.
it's also Spawn Waves, so it's going to be 30-year-olds. And
It's nothing
plus.
more than that. Yeah, but I would expect them to be buying, to be honest. I'd expect them to be
Splatoon,
buying.
no.
No?
It's very much a young person's game.
Oh, no, I'm all over it.
Oh my god, of course you will.
That's probably why.
That is
I
why
don't-
they don't have online chat.
No, I think so. I think Splatoon's any age. I love Splatoon. I think it's fantastic. It's obviously Nintendo's answer to FPS, which is a third person anyway. But it's their equivalent, and you know the amount of time and effort they've put into that game, or Splatoon 2, and how good it is. They see this as attacking all sides of their market. Like I think they think this is a very big title for the year. Mm-hmm. But I think they're ruining it a bit at the moment. So, did you play either Nintendo Switch Sports or did you play Mario Strikers at all?
No, I avoided them because I have no interest with playing online.
And
Which is a shame because Camelot make those games, and they also made the Mario Golf and Tennis RPGs. back on like the Game Boy Color and Advance, and they were superb. Very big fans of those games. But their latest work has left me cold.
Yeah, I think it seems to me that when they focus on online games, they just, it's like they can't make a credible game in all regards. They can go, okay, we're going to focus on online. They try online, they make the single player shit. If they focus on single player, there's literally no online. But even when they try online, they still fuck it up and don't do anything. They have these amazing games, like I think golf, the golf, the tennis, Switch Sports, Mario Strikers. I all think they're very, very competent games. I think they look great, they play great, they're really, really good. But it's like Switch Sports. There's just nothing there. You've played the sports, you play online, you get your ranking up. That's fucking it. There's nothing. They just don't seem to have any really strategic way of thinking about these games, and I think it's off-putting. And I do think that Nintendo, they are trying to become one of the major players, but in terms of like the hardcore gaming market, like a lot of people have a Switch as a number 2 console, but to make them switch to that number 1 kind of console, they need to get this right, and they just miss very, very simple opportunities to do so. Just the design of a game, and the design of the structure and actually actively what you do in a game, I think is something so simple that I don't understand why they can make a great RPG, but they just can't do this. It just seems it's beyond me.
It does seem like there's a big detach, because Mario Party, when it first came out, it only had online functions patched in.
Absolutely.
2 years after release.
That first Mario Party that they did on the Switch. I mean, that's just, it's diabolical, isn't it?
Yeah, it's shocking. Sorry, Kirk, didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, that's fine. I was going to say there's obviously got to be a reason for it, surely.
Yeah, do we think it's strategical? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, they've made the conscious decision to do this, and I don't think it's to do with lack of infrastructure on their end. Like they could do it. It's not hard.
Absolutely.
Obviously, I don't know how it all works, but it can be done. And Nintendo are a fucking massive company, and they've got the right people there to be able to implement all this kind of stuff. But I just don't think they want to. And I think they're trying to go a very different route to the other two, where PlayStation and Xbox rely heavily on a lot of multiplayer gaming. They do. You guys are going to play Warzone on Thursday, and that's part of the experience owning one of those consoles, isn't it?
Yes.
Whereas
yes.
I don't think Nintendo want to be a part of that. I mean, how much do they have that is in like crossplay? There's not much there, is there? Is Fall Guys on Switch?
It is.
Yes.
Yeah,
it is.
and it is crossplay.
It
Yes.
is,
Yeah. So obviously there's those odd games like that kind of in, and then obviously you got your like Rocket League and stuff like that, but you don't have any of these other huge games that are on the other consoles where they want to kind of be in that arena. So
vein too, when you have the option of playing Rocket League, Fall Guys, Fortnite, why would you do it on the console that doesn't have voice chat readily available? You can just stick your headset on and use anything else.
yeah.
Yeah, so then people aren't probably actively choosing. It's all this on the go business, but you're not playing those games necessarily on the go. I suppose my big thing. I completely agree with your point, Kurt. I don't think they are focused on it. But what really annoys me, what really pisses me off, is that they bring out these titles with the pretext that they are doing it properly, that they are going to do it properly, that it is going to be a good experience. But you bring something out for a full price game, and you advertise it as such, and it's fucking trash. That doesn't have all the features, and it doesn't have any real content around this stuff, and it's not as good as what you'd see on other consoles. To something like Mario Strikers, don't want to necessarily rag solely on that, so we'll talk about all of them: the tennis, the golf, the whatever. If you just compare that to another sports game that you get on the Xbox or the PlayStation, it's just they're worlds apart, and I don't mind so much if Nintendo's stance is, no, we don't do that because we want to aim at kids and we don't think kids do that and we think kids enjoy this experience. That's absolutely fine. But don't advertise it as such, and then don't fuck up your single player. Like, I don't understand. I just don't understand how you could possibly release these games and go, yeah, that's all right.
They have got very fun too. There's no unlockables in these games. Your extra characters are all DLC.
Yeah. So it's not like you're trying to win anything. You're not trying to do anything, are you?
Yeah,
like
it's like they're not there as rewards. They're there to artificially fluff the lifeline of this game, or the lifespan. Sorry.
It almost says, it's that, or it says that the game wasn't ready in its state anyway. It's just, it just really boggles the mind that they think that's okay. And what really gets me is that people say this isn't okay. You get much bigger podcasts, news outlets, all this kind of say, and that's okay, and they do nothing.
Well, in a nutshell, is that not the problem with a lot of the problems in gaming? You vote with your wallet, and are Nintendo hurting for money at the moment?
No, and you'll still get people. But Nintendo Strikers, the sales were 20% down on Mario Golf.
Yeah, that's great. I really like.
So that is good in that regard. Like, people that wait a week, see what reviews are saying. Or I didn't like that the fucking reviews were coming out. The reviews looked good for that game. The reviews were like 8 out of 10, all this kind of stuff. The online wasn't visible at that time properly.
Yeah.
Like, and the single player was fucking non-existent. I cannot understand how a reviewing outlet could review that in advance and give that. It's got, like, you literally had 6 little tournaments that you could play, but they're all exactly the same. That it's nothing. That there's nothing to review, and people giving it 8s. In what fucking world? Like,
see, I thought maybe they did release very close to Switch Sports, so I was wondering, would that affect sales?
It's a good point, because they're very
Switch
similar.
Sports, did it have the golf in it, or is that
no,
come?
Not yet. It hasn't got the golf in it yet, and the problem is they suffer from the exact same problems. Like, Switch Sports is literally that. It's the sports. You choose the sports. You either play online or you play against the computer on some dog shit difficulty levels. You put 3 difficulty levels, whatever. You play online and you can rank up. That's the whole experience. It's similar. That's all they offer. So they suffer from the same kind of problems as well. You're probably right that once I reckon Switch Sports probably affected Mario Strikers. That people go, hang on a minute, I've just bought a game over there, but at least that was 25 quid or 30 quid or something. That was a reduced price. Like, Nintendo understood that and they reduced the price. And then they go out and they release these other, even like Mario Golf, which I thought was okay because it has like a single player kind of game, RPG kind of bit. You know, they do a little bit more. In the tennis as well, they had a single player mode where there was a story and stuff. Fucking Mario Strikers, they went, nah, fuck it. Sorry?
Such a shame, because the last 2 titles were great, and this was like GameCube and Wii online capabilities weren't really about, so they relied on offline play.
Yeah, exactly. And this one, they just went, all right, you want online. And I mean, I've been over it, but the online's garbage as well. And the fact that they didn't release the seasons for a week after it came out, it's just everything about it boggles the mind. But Nintendo I just don't think they ever sit down and talk about this stuff, because I can understand your point, Kirk, about like maybe it's not, but to actively not make a better game, even if you don't have voice chat and all that kind of stuff. To actively not put in things that make it a good game. And then I have things like Splatoon 3 come out, which I'm really excited about. Like, I love Splatoon. I play Splatoon 2 all the time. Like, it's like my happy game. You go in and it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, everything's happy and it's great. I really, really want that game, but it's plagued by these fucking... Like, they got that. That's the only game I've known them to get right online. And even then, they didn't get it right, because fucking Salmon Run.
Yeah.
Salmon Run. I mean, for fuck's sake, the best mode in the game. They go like, yeah, you can only play that from 6 till 8 tonight. I'm sorry. What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, because somebody's manning the kiosk. What's going on? Is he?
Oh, you made that joke several weeks ago, Ben.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Recycled material. But it's just it's ridiculous. That mode was the best. Everybody wanted it, and it's like they had the illusion of scarcity with it. It's a fucking video game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for like timed, kind of like events and stuff like that, but only when done right. and that's
Yeah.
not doing it right. And if it's a mode that people adore, give more of it so that they come to the game.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Splatoon
it's
used to do
ridiculous.
events where you voted on things. I think they had like
They
a
did used to
ketchup
do that.
versus mayonnaise weekend.
Yeah,
you
it's a bit
picked your team.
bollocks, but it was all right. It was.
Oh,
It was quite fun. There was something going on. Like they have, and they had so many. What they did in Splatoon as well, they're always releasing new guns and things like that. So they got Splatoon 2 right, in my opinion. And then what they did was release a multiplayer game purely focused on multiplayer, and then they released a single player afterwards as DLC. And I really liked what they did there, and I do think Splatoon 3 is going to be different. But these sports games, like
I can't wait until it releases.
yeah, this is the thing.
They
Like,
hurt
I
me
can't-
again.
But
We're gonna
I'm
learn
that
the whole
guy that
feature on it.
What, Ben,
but
where
I
did,
continually
where
buy.
did Nintendo touch you?
Point on the doll.
But I continually buy these fucking games. All of these sports games I bought,
Yeah, well, vote
expecting
with your
something to be
wallet.
different.
Yeah, why do you
Yeah.
keep buying them? If you
Agreed,
hate,
because you will keep on buying day one.
Because I cannot possibly think that they can get it that wrong every time. But
they have
you know,
been. But they have been.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Maybe the fact that the sales dipped on that last game, that maybe this could be the beginning of a change.
Eddie, that's the perfect. They won't. Like it's like they just go fuck it. I don't think there's any way to do it. I don't think there's any way to make them change. You know, Nintendo, they still don't have themes. Like on your Switch, when you turn your Switch, you can either have it light or dark, so black or white. If they just release, you could charge $4.99 for some little Splatoon kind of background type thing.
Well, they used to in the
People would buy
3DS.
that. Yes, exactly. People would buy that easy. I would. I drop coin. I drop a lot of coin on getting all these different themes, and they just don't do it. They just don't do simple fucking things that don't even require development.
That's
Like, they could
when
get
they
Kirk to do
removed
that.
their virtual console.
That was a weird dig there.
That wasn't a dig. That wasn't a dig. I was saying you could do it.
Yeah.
Could you do maybe a new business
Oh,
theme of Switch?
I suppose it is a dig saying anyone could do it. But what I mean is, you could just get anyone to do it.
Any twat could do that.
Jesus.
Exactly. Just steal
Okay.
a Splatoon picture.
What are we saying to like round this off?
Nintendo sucks.
Oh, fucking hell, that is a hot take. Is that do we all vote for that?
Yeah, fuck Nintendo.
Yeah,
Yes!
fuck Nintendo.
Yes!
GG.
The
No,
majority!
GG, no, we're not voting on that. I think what we're saying is Splatoon's their last chance. I think Splatoon 3 is the last chance to get a first-party Nintendo online multiplayer game right.
Okay.
If they don't
and
get that
I have a
right,
question
like,
for
there's-
you then,
there's
Ben,
none
off
of
the
that.
back of that. If they don't, what are you gonna do?
Continue to buy it. No, I won't buy multiplayer
want-
games for Nintendo. There's no point. There's literally no point in buying any first-party multiplayer
Ben,
games for
I've
Nintendo.
said this before. Nintendo fanboys are the biggest of all fanboys.
They
I
are.
think it's because of their history of their games, and a lot of people grew up on it, and it's
I
got
agree.
that cult kind of following.
You give them a pass for everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They
yes,
could.
yes.
You
They
could
will
open
get
up a
pass for
Switch
anything.
box and there could be a shit in there, and you'd be like, "Oh, brilliant!
Yeah.
Thank you, Nintendo."
But this is the first thing that you've known that I've had a go at Nintendo.
Absolutely. In fact, I'm
Yeah.
shocked when I saw this come to the floor.
So this is a big thing.
it
I
is.
mean, and it's about time.
Something needs
yeah.
to change, doesn't it? Let's be honest.
Splatoon
Yes,
3
the
is the
feature
last
needs to
chance.
fucking change, because I can only imagine how this conversation would have gone if I wasn't here. You two don't give a flying fuck about Nintendo or what they do or don't
I
do.
hate them, but I don't want to give them the time of day for hate. So
Yeah, it seems to be the case.
I'm nothing them.
I could only do this 'cause you were here.
Hold
Did you
on,
just
hold on.
want to continue the Strikers rant? Those fuckers took my money.
I'm never getting it back. CEX will give you tuppence for it.
Christopher, I have nothing against Nintendo. It's just I don't enjoy their games. I never.
took that impression. I would not think that lowly of you.
I beg to differ. But I think the Switch is a fucking great console. I just don't like. I just can't get on.
Just
It's-
think in a market at the moment, the Steam Deck coming out, its base model, the lowest model, price that against, say, a limited edition OLED model with Splatoon on it. They're not that different in price, and you're getting a much better experience on one.
I don't think the Steam Deck would
The Steam Deck
I think-
emulates all Switch games. It's a fantastic
Yeah.
purchase. Everybody should buy one.
What I mean is, like, despite it obviously being if you're going to put them up next to each other, but I don't think from a consumer standpoint, I don't think it could ever compete because it's not
I
going to be
don't
in the
know
shops.
if you
It's
sat
not gonna
somebody
be there.
down and say, "Here, sunshine, you know what? Headphones
Yes.
connect up to this, and it has Netflix."
Correct. Yes, that's true. Netflix. God damn it! Why does that fucking net? Anyway, even the fucking 3DS or something had Netflix, didn't it?
It did, yeah, the Wii U.
Yeah, fuck it. But regardless, because it's not in the shops, if it were in the shops, I think it would genuinely be a massive competitor to the Switch. But because it's literally not in the shop,
Steam
it's
Deck
only
2.
online.
Steam Deck 2 would be where it
Steam Deck
really
Pro
comes.
coming this Christmas.
They fucking will. It will. The Pro model will be out before fucking Pro version of the Switch.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, Kurt. You're fucking right. Right, should we do the socials?
You done ranting?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was like
Well,
the
that
most.
wasn't even a fucking
beaten.
rant. That was just a whinge.
fucking yeah. That was.
You had,
Anyway, it's topical.
you had a lot
Can you-
more
can you hear
piss
how
and vinegar in
deflated-
the original Strikers rant.
Can you hear
that
how
was real.
deflated he is as well? It's just
The
it's hilarious.
fires died out. Somebody's pissed
just-
on your coals.
just want to just want to build my hype for Splatoon 3. Right, okay, so if you disagree or agree, you can email us at podcast@grumpygamers.co.uk or you can tweet us at grumpygamerspod. We're on YouTube, Grumpy Gamers Podcast, and Twitch. Catch us on Thursday where we're going to be streaming Warzone at 7 p.m. BST, and that's Grumpy Gamers Podcast, all one word.
Nice.
This
Nice.
is where you sign us off.
Or he does
Oh yeah,
his
am
own
I a
socials.
grumpy gamer now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, Pete.
Are you
Yeah.
going to GG or are you going to do
Well,
something else? Are you
find
gonna fuck
Grumpy
you?
Gamer Christopher. Not that he has a podcast of his own or anything. Just
Yeah,
can't
Oh,
so
yeah,
do
yeah,
your
of course,
own
yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
Fucking
sign us
arsehole.
off. Do your plug yourself, plug your show. Go on.
You'd love to watch me plug myself. That's how you get off.
This is
Oh,
wildly
This is why
inappropriate.
Nintendo
right at the
don't
end.
have online. They've seen nonsense like
wildly
you.
inappropriate.
You get that in
for-
the
The two
text chat,
the
yeah.
two
This is a
people that
family
are playing
podcast.
Nintendo on this show right now have said some of the most graphic things. So yeah, you're right.
This is fine.
This is a family podcast.
Is it?
It is not a family podcast.
I have been Deadbeat Punk, and I could possibly be the reason PictoChat was cancelled. If you would like to hear more of me, WTFDYW.co.uk, or if you're Kirk, youcunts.co.uk.
Thanks, mate.
You are more than welcome. So, gentlemen, any closing thoughts?
Thanks for coming.
Thanks.
Fuck
Yeah,
Nintendo.
Thanks for hosting. Not Nintendo. They're not welcome to come here again
definitely not. No.
until next week, obviously.
Gentlemen, it was a pleasure. But until next time, GG,
GG.
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 flawless. You've done this before.